Salut pour tous! Soyez les bienvenus dans le programme Planète Équitable avec Ed Zanetti. We are talking about alternatives for generating carbon credits from removing CO2 from the atmosphere, the CDRs, carbon dioxide removals. We talked about how to intensify land use in order to increase productivity, and this increase in productivity will generate carbon credits, and then how to take this biomass, which is the result from the CO2 uptake, and use the industry to transform it into carbon-based products which will be serving society. We talked about wood safes. You can bury the wood underground or store it on the surface and generate carbon credits from it, and then start talking about the use of industrial timber, which is fundamental, it's key for developing countries to increase their usage of industrial timber products in order to reduce emissions and increase removals. You will be reducing emissions when we start using more wood, because in developing countries which are passing through a fast urbanization, one of the most important in Latin America is the most important source, the most relevant source of greenhouse gases is the production and usage of cement. Cement, iron, and steel are the main responsible for generating carbon emissions in Latin America. So when you each unity of cement that we replace by wood, it stops generating emissions from producing cement and starts generating removals from the wood that's being used. Take for example cement. To produce 1 kilo of cement, you emit almost 2 kilos of CO2, 1.6, 1.8 kilos of CO2 are emitted by each kilo of cement that is produced and used. On the other hand, if you have a kilo of wood, it stores 1 kilo of CO2. So instead of emitting 2 tons of CO2 for each kilo of cement you use, 2 kilos of CO2 for each kilo of cement you use, when you use timber, you reduce 2 and you gain another 1. So it's 3 kilos of CO2 per kilo of wood that is used in the cities. That's why it's so important. It's key for developing countries to develop a low carbon industry which is based on biomass products, especially industrial products for the construction sector. And we will be talking further about this. Let God's peace and the love that builds be our weapons on a daily struggle for justice. Ed Zanetti, Futuros Amis Africanos.